We've got hoe, rake, big stakes, kneeling pad, because, well, I am wearing coveralls today, but sometimes I'm wearing jeans and I don't want to get my jeans stained with dirt, plus it's cold on the ground. Binder twine to mark my rows, little hand hoe. This right here is blood meal. And I've got a spoon in here on purpose. So, oh, I've got 2 spoons. So a big bag of blood meal and some spoons. So the blood meal is to get the roots to establish in the ground before the cold comes and before the ground freezes. So in the spring they will grow faster and stronger. So each clove gets about a 1/4 teaspoon of blood meal. So that's what this is here, is blood meal. And that's what the spoons are for. And then my garlic from this year that is going to be broken up into cloves and planted 1 clove at a time. And I will go over that some more with you after I get the ground prepped. Okay, I'm not sure at what point my phone fell over, but I will show you what I'm getting ready to do right now. So as you can see, first I prepped the ground for where the garlic's going to go. So I raked it, picked the weeds, picked the rocks, and then I set up our binder twine to make a straight line. And then I actually took the hoe and dug a small little ditch so I could see where I was going in a straight line. Moved the binder twine over 1 row so that I'd have space when I'm digging the holes. So in spacing between the rows, I've got 1 foot of space, and I actually don't want to be anal about measuring things, so I actually just take my rubber boot and step down and figure, that's 1 foot, good enough. So I only do that in rows of 3, and then I leave a larger space for walking and for weeding, and I do rows of 3 together, all 1 foot apart. So then I put the big stake in the ground to mark where the rows are going to be when the snow comes. And then I start with the little hand trowel, or whatever people decide to call it. I dig down, and it's only about a clove, 1 to 2 inches below the ground that the cloves go in. So in each little hole I've got that 1/4 teaspoon of blood meal. Got a cat who's wanting me to pet him. So I put in about this much blood meal, into each little hole, and if you see in there, those ones already have, I have 2 cats, the blood meal in, and then I put in 1 clove of garlic. And the thing about when you put the garlic in, I'm hoping you can see this pretty well, is you don't want your garlic peeled. So you do want, if there is any of the fresh, nice garlic showing, you want to try to hold that skin down to keep the garlic protected from any bugs and stuff like that. So if your clove doesn't have the skin still on, then you want to grab some of the skin, the extra skin around the garlic head, and see, there's lots of extra skin on there, and put it over each of the cloves. Don't bite, cat. Put it over each of the cloves so that when you put them in the ground, they're going to be safe from bugs and stuff. That'll keep them coming up better. So, and if you've never done this before, if you count that head of garlic, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little one. That one might work or not. So you have 6 cloves on here. Oh no, 7. 7 cloves on here. So each clove you plant, you should get a whole head of garlic, and that's not small. We don't heavily water our garlic here, but we do space them decently so that they can grow to be full size, and we are completely organic. We don't do any crazy fertilizers or anything like that. We just use goat, sheep, chicken poo from healthy animals who eat organic hay and pasture. Each one of these cloves is going to give you a full head of garlic, but you don't want to plant any of the dented ones, any of the ones that are bruised or starting to rot or anything wrong with them. You want only the best that you plant, but it doesn't have to be the best of the best if you have lots to pick from. They can be ugly. Okay, I will start planting them all and you can watch. I've planted one row of garlic now, and basically what I've done in order to make it efficient is I first dig the hole, do all of the holes about 1 foot apart, maybe 12 inches to 18 inches apart. Then I put a 1/4 teaspoon of blood meal in all of the holes, and I take my teaspoon and I make it heaping, and I just eyeball 1/4 teaspoon each hole. Then I go and I put 1 clove in each hole all the way down. And something I didn't mention yet was when you are putting a clove of garlic in, the root side, so where the root's going to come out, the bottom, is what goes down, and the part that comes up in the clove goes up, because the roots are going to grow out down and the garlic is going to grow out up. And that might sound silly me telling you that, but some people will ask, so that's why I'm telling you. Now, a good example of garlic that you don't want to plant, and I found this as I was breaking up the heads of garlic. This one here got hit by the pitchfork, so obviously it's not good enough to go in the hole. Doesn't mean it needs to be thrown out. It means I need to cut it up and use it before the rest of it goes bad. And this one also looks like it got hit by the pitchfork. So I will now continue to dig my next rows for my 3 beds and plant the garlic. And I actually cover them after I'm done a full 3 rows. Okay, I've got my 3 rows of garlic in, so it ends up being 137 cloves of garlic for this one bed. And something I didn't tell you about was staggering the rows. So when you plant them, I actually don't plant them all side by side. I stagger the rows so that when the garlic grows, they're growing in between each other, so in the spaces, to make it better for them to get water, and using the space the best that we possibly can. Something else I didn't mention to you yet was what garlic should you plant. In my opinion, as long as you like the garlic that you're planting, that's the best garlic to plant. But make sure, if it's your first time planting, my advice would be plant garlic that has been growing in the area. So if you can, find a local farmer who has already been planting garlic and buy some seed garlic off of them so that you can plant from that garlic. The reason being, garlic that has been growing already at your climate and in similar soil is going to be more hardy for your area. I am in southern BC or Okanagan, Shuswap area, and this is my garlic from last year, and we have planted our own garlic year after year. I'm not sure for how many years, but at least since 2007. And I bought my garlic originally off of a local farmer. If you have any questions, then let me know. I will cover my beds and we will finish this conversation on how to plant garlic. This is Jen Koochin with Everything Healthy. It's later than October 15th and I'm planting my garlic. It's not too late to plant your garlic. As long as the ground isn't frozen, you can plant your garlic and it will do well. It'll do better if you plant it in the fall than if you wait until the spring. And if you like this, I'm going to be doing more on topics where everything is healthy, so you can like and subscribe.